Good evening. It is Tuesday evening, and you know what that means here on the Amigos Racing Team YouTube channel. It means, well, not this time. Not this time. We do not have the Tuesday sprints. No, no. We have a 200 lap extravaganza ready for you. Just a couple of minutes away. We are about to get underway with qualifying. I'd welcome you all to the Broadbean Raceway, the second configuration of it, otherwise known as the BB Raceway. What do we have here for the Amigos Racing Team Art 200, a special edition 200 lap race around this dogleg oval, and more on that in just a moment in our stunning SuperFormula Cars. Well, we've got a 15-minute qualification session that is about to begin. And then after that, it's going to be 200 laps of wheel-to-wheel and wheel-to-wall action. The Jovis there, just a little kiss off the wall. Couple of rules to bear in mind. Tyre degradation is on. It's not usually on a Tuesday night. Now today it is. 16 times, and you have the choice of tyre all the way from super soft up to mediums, being the hardest compound we're using today. Free choice, and go through as many pairs sets as you need. You're going to start on the tyres that you qualify on, and we are into the qualification period right now. So, fuel is 8-time degradation. We have rolling starts, and quite important, very crucial, I dare say, we have heavy mechanical damage. And that is something that we often see, again, on a Tuesday night. So those are the rules. Let's look at our grid. Who is going to be lining up in today's race? Currently we've got 13 drivers. Elite digits we should have. This is the entry list. Elite digits: Urban Fire 999, Oscar X0, Woody 321, Outdoors F1, the Jovis, Razor F, Terminator, Lango 666, Art, Seth F1, Brett Rackett, Cuzzy, aka Ryan is bad, you know. No Hassle, Mercedes Class 88, and Tuan Lu. We maybe, yes, they are out there. In fact, they've just set themselves a qualifying time. It is absolutely brilliant. I'm so excited to call this 200 lapper. The Broadbean Raceway. It is a, as you can see, a paved oval. It's got that dog leg. There are 5 turns. It is 1.665 kilometers. It is based in beautiful Tokyo, Japan, home of the Paralympics. Right now, commiserations to the women's Paralympic wheelchair basketball team, defeated by China today. And that's the setting for this phenomenal race. And let's just run through the cars as we are setting something possibly fast lap times. 22-second laps, so 200 laps. That sounds like a lot. That sounds like a long way. It's going to go by real quick. Here is Tuan Lu. We're looking at that red and white livery, I believe Honda engine for Tuan Lu. Lango 666 in the just matte black 00 Advance sponsored. Ryan is badged out in a gorgeous, almost Patronus blue, maybe sea foam. Brett Rackett, ooh, black and green. Is that monster livery? I think it might be. That's rather a departure for Brett Rackett. Seth F1 in a red and a white, black and red Kmart. And that almost looks like a kart livery. I'm loving that. Oh, the Johnny Walker Formula 1 Mercedes livery for Razor F Urban Fire 999. Feeling very patriotic with the Union flag. And again, red livery for, well, I mean, they're called Urban Fire 999. Like, what are we expecting? No Hassle. Again, Union colours. No Hassle. Emblazoned all over their vehicle with that silver and white. Terminator representing GoPro, or maybe it's the other way around. That blue, white and black. Willie 321 is sat in pit road right now, but we're looking at aqua and purple. And Elite Digits. Oh, very understated for Elite Digits. What is this? Blue and white. Very tidy indeed. Let's go for a lap of the circuit with... oh, but is it? Thank you. Oscar X0. So we're coming around the second to last corner. Now we're on to the final corner, turn 5 in this configuration. And a cross start finish. And let's just see. Does he lift? No. On the overtake as well. These SuperFormula cars. But they push to pass button already. We are around the final bend. No, sorry. Penultimate bend. Turn 4. And then a big lift, maybe even dab on the brakes, into the final corner, turn 5. So let's count them. This is turn 1. Turn 2. And then the dog leg, we're going to call that 3. Round here for 4. And we're just going to, you tease Oscar X0 wanted to know if it was a lift or a full brake into the final corner. Turn 5, and yes, I think we can call that one correct. Oscar X0 has the provisional pole, a 22.622, coming in to get a new set of those Yokohama medium tyres. That is interesting. So Oscar thinks they've set their fast lap, and now they're getting strategy perhaps. And now they join the racetrack. So Oscar X0 with that provisional pole time of a 22.622. Let's just see what their first full flying lap is. Excuse me. Seth F1 goes fastest in the first sector, the first half of the lap. And again, yeah, yeah, on the brakes into the final corner. And what's the final time? It is a fastest lap, a 22.440. Art de Jovis hot on their heels. Their fastest time, a 22.60. So they had provisional pole for just a moment. Lango 666, their fastest time, a 22.520. Set on their previous lap, Art de Jovis. All out of overtake. All out of overtake. So they've already burnt through, as a lot of people have. Lango, still with plenty of overtake. They're currently using it, and they've gone pole. Provisional pole at least, with a 22.366. Now, of course, these are the cars that we're going to see in the full regular series. Amigos Racing Team Tuesday Sprint Series 7. And I can't wait, because I don't know about you, but I love me some SuperFormula Cars. Especially, I mean, I like them anyway in the full metal world, but I love driving them in this. That's Terminator L. Puts in a 24.520 last time around. Let's see if they can improve that. They had their season high performance last time round, a podium finish in the race 2, I believe it was. Terminator up to 8th, already dropped down to 9th, 22.697. So everybody here absolutely flying. Brett Rackett goes provisional pole, 22.210 with their monster livery, and they put in a fire lap and away they go. Let's check in with Seth F1, currently 4th provisionally with that Halverline Kmart. That has to be a classic kart livery. Are we thinking late 90s, early 2000s? We need to know. So Oscar X0, who not long ago was provisional pole, bumped all the way down to 6th. And how close is it? 2/100ths of a second. Sorry, 2/10ths of a second. 2/10ths of a second between Brett Rackett and Oscar X0. Cuzzy, aka Ryan Espadgino, he will be referred to Ryan Espadgino for the majority of this. I'll make no apologies. Fastest lap, a 22.508. Let's go on board. Now we're going to see, I think, a real rarity in this race. It's something that we don't see often in Amigos Racing Team races, Tuesday sprints in particular, is lapped traffic and how drivers deal with that. Cars aren't going to ghost on these laps either, which obviously wouldn't happen in the full battle world. Why would we have it in our 200 lap extravaganza? The Art 200, and it's live coming up. Qualifying, it's got 5 minutes remaining. You know, able to get round in anger, put in some hot laps. And really importantly, see how the car reacts, performs with other cars also putting in hot laps. That's why the qualification period is the length it is today. I think it's fair to say. Razor F with that classic late 2000s Mercedes F1 livery. Sorry, not Mercedes, McLaren. What am I saying? McLaren F1 livery. Of course, Mercedes so ubiquitous with the McLaren team at that time. So Razor's fastest lap, a 22.619. Last time around. Do they go better? No, they drop off by about half a second. Urban Fire 999. Not able to put in as many laps as, well, anybody else really. Lobby host for this evening's 200 lapper. Taking a unique line. Or are they just coming in? Nope, they are coming in to the pits. That is a garish pit crew. My lord. Let's see Terminator. Are they on a flyer? Are they on a charge? Can they get top 10 in the qualifying? No. Not yet to eclipse their fastest lap time. A 22.671. We'll stay with Terminator for a little bit more. Who is your pick to be the race winner? Oh, who is my pick? Could it be? Oh, could it be? If he ever gets there, could it be Brett Rackett? A driver that we know, very, very fast. Always a threat, always competitive out there. Could it be Brett Rackett's day? Look at those lap times. Pretty consistent. Pretty consistent lap times. Seth F1. Ah, we don't have the lap times up, but oh my! Seth F1's fastest lap time at 21.955. That is outrageous. That's unbelievable. Sorry, I'm genuinely taken aback. That is a lot faster than what we've been seeing. Dipping under the 22 seconds. Was not anticipating that. That is tremendous. Seth F1. But it's all well and good being super fast in the qualifying. Getting that pole position. Yes, it helps. Are you going to be involved in that turn 1 melee? No. But he's done that on the soft tyres. Though Twanley's out there trying to qualify on the super softs. We're going to see the impact that will have, and you know how they go. This is 200 laps. Do not forget that. We are going to see lap traffic. We are going to see collisions. We're going to see damaged cars. We're going to see strategy. I genuinely don't know if I've been this excited for one of our races. Lango's there, stranded race side. Let's go check out Cuzzy, aka Ryan is bad, you know. Trying to go break into the top 5. And it's not looking likely this lap, unless they can really pull it out in the second half of the lap. Oh, little kiss on the wall there. And it does not advance them. It was that little bit of, not too sure what held them up on the first half of the lap. No hassle sets a new fast lap for them. Up to 4th position, 22.286. So we are getting some seriously quick lap times at the top end. Again, a little kiss on the wall from Cuzzy, aka Ryan Badgino. People in the chat saying Brett for the win. Brett Rackett. Just let's just see what happened there to the people's champion Brett Rackett. By all accounts. Come around the final corner on the apron. No, just decides just to whip it around a bit. Fair enough. Brett Ryan will be fighting for the win, says Nigel Hugo. It's interesting that Bradders Durdin RX hasn't got involved with a prediction. Who else do we have? DJE Sim Racing says Willie D. Where is Willie D 321? Again, somebody that we've really enjoyed watching race throughout, well, several series now of the Amigos Racing Team Tuesday sprints. And qualifying is done. The field is set. It will be Seth F1 on pole position for the Amigos Racing Team Art 200. Live and exclusive on the Amigos Racing Team YouTube channel. Top 2 rows, Seth F1, Brett Rackett, Twanlu, and No Hassle. And it is, remember, a rolling start. Rolling start. Do not forget that. So, Seth F1 with the honours of leading them out. And again, I'm going to need somebody in chat, please. We need to Google that livery. What is that Seth F1 livery? But right now, we are racing at the Broadbean Raceway II, live from Tokyo, Japan. The Amigos Racing Team Art 200. And already, Seth F1 set the fastest pole time, under 22 seconds, trying to break away. We've already got a pack of 3 up the top. Brett Rackett and Twanlu all over the back of them. As we come across, already lap 1 is in the book. Seth F1 with the fastest lap, 27.360. Don't you worry, we're going to see far faster than that as we go through this race. At the top of the field, Brett Rackett looking up the inside of Seth F1, but nothing given on that occasion. We've already had somebody spin out, have an incident, and at the back of the field, who is that? In fact, we've already got a pit caller. Lango 666 was on the mediums. What are they going to change to? We're going to check in with them. Willie D321's clearly had an incident. And Lango gone to the soft tyres already. That's, of course it is. We say that's Nigel Manson's livery, the Seth F1. As Brett Rackett, using the draft, tries to get by Seth F1. It's not happened this time, but they are so close. As they come around the final corner, looking for a dive down low. Seth F1, it's not happening this time for Brett Rackett with that monster livery. We're going to stay on board for this lap. Ryan Inspantino, fastest lap of the race, 22.606. We speculated at the start. We knew Brett Rackett was going to be quick. We knew he was going to be in this. But again, can't get too excited. Oh my goodness, they nearly touch. As we're only on lap 6 of 200. I think I'm going to need to calm down. Brett Rackett still on the tail of Seth F1. We do have a pit caller. It is Razor F. Fueling up a little bit. Moving on to the medium tyres. Brett Rackett still all over the back of Seth F1. But this looks like a battle right now. Ryan Inspantino, fastest lap of the race. 22.606. It is a big breakaway. There is a big gap. 3.5 seconds to the race leaders from this group. And then another group behind them. But we're going to see some battles all race long. And again, strategy is going to be a huge factor here. Also, do not forget, if a car crashes, heavy mechanical damage is a serious thing that these cars are going to have to deal with or pit for repairs. So that is going to, these guys want to keep it clean. This is IndyCar style racing and I'm so excited. Loving it every single second. We are lap 10 of 200. Seth F1 leads from Brett Rackett. No Hassle just moves into 3rd position. That move there on Twanlu. Ryan Inspantino, aka Cuzzy, still with that fastest lap of the race. Trying to make things happen. They touch, the wheels touch. As Ryan Inspantino gets in there. Little kiss on the wall, maybe. Gets the move done, makes it stick. Twanlu drops 2 positions in just about 1 lap. Gets it back though. That favourable lower lane. Now trying to get back on no hassle. Ryan Spagino, a big correction there. Maybe even a bit of a save as Tuanlu all over the road. These guys are clattering each other. And again, they may just be little contacts. But when you're going these speeds on this oval, it's going to feel like a heck of a lot more as Elite Digits, out of nowhere, he sees the battle ahead of him. And I always say this, I'm a big proponent of this, the mental side of things. If you can see the battle, you're in the battle. For a moment there, Elite Digits was by Elite Digits. Ryan is by Janot. Great lane discipline. No spotters in this race. So those radars are going to come in extremely handy. Dropping down, covering that line. Little kiss on the wall. So we think that is an Andretti livery. What year? What series? Was it kart? Don't think it was the 1994 season where Mansell made his debut in, I think it was still IndyCar then. Seth F1 leads from Brett Rackett. No Hassle is in third with an absolute dogfight behind. Elite Digits, Tuanlu, and No Hassle. 1996. Thank you very much for that. That is Braddo's dirt in RX. One thing you can't accuse me of is being GP Laps Jake. De Jovis is in the battle now and has put a lap on Razor F. Now Razor F, we know, has already pitted, has already come in for tyres and some fuel, and that's what we're going to see. Notice not ghosted out, though there are blue boards illuminated. That would have been, I think, the first season of kart. Maybe the second. As we have pit callers. Seth F1. Which means that the lead of the race has been taken over by Brett Rackett, who has lapped Willie D321 for company right now. As big contact on that wall, on that final bend. Elite Digits is into the pits now as we drop through. Where is Seth F1? Still in the pits, getting a lot of fuel on board, 100% and medium tyres. They are looking for a long stint. We know they've got pace, although Ryan is Badgenote still fastest lap of the race so far. We check in with Brett Rackett once again. Your new race leader has a 9-second advantage over No Hassle in second. Ryan Espagino is up to third position. Cars ahead have pitted. De Jovis is in fourth as Ryan Espagino drops down to the pits. Oscar X0 is battling. This is for position. This is on track. Look in the inside. Have they got it done? Have they? Yes. Oscar X0 gets the position. Now the dog leg. And turn 4. And it's still Oscar X0 as De Jovis drops down into the pit lane. So lost the position, but maybe held up Oscar X0 for a little bit. Who knows how that will impact things later on as the leader is on pit road. Art No Hassle will take over the lead of the race, assuming they don't drop into the pit lane. They do drop into the pit lane. So Oscar X0 should take over the lead of the race. They have done already. Where is Brett Rackett? Now the tyre change. Oscar X0 is down the road already. So race leader, another change of lead. That last lap, a 23.985 for Oscar X0. Now, we're not going to see 22s, 21s constantly. Well, especially if you're kissing the wall on exit there. And look who's back. Seth F1, after it's all shaken out. And he's got a 3.5 second gap over Brett Rackett. So that is interesting. Because when they pitted, when Seth pitted, and Seth pitted early, a good few laps ahead of Brett Rackett, that gap was not 3 seconds. So Brett Rackett with work to do. Oscar X0, race leader. We're going to go on board. Watch them go down pit road. What did I just say? So Seth F1 to take over the lead of this race. Oscar X0 on the mediums. So the mediums are good for 25 laps. So is a full tank of fuel. So that's interesting to bear in mind. Or maybe Oscar was able to manage his fuel and tyre usage particularly well. Seth F1 takes over the lead of the race. But Rackett in second. Elite Digits up to third position. That's going to be a fan favourite, we know, as Willie D321 has also come into the pits. Tuanlu up to fourth position. And do you know what? Where is Oscar? Still in the pits. Coming out of the pits, they will rejoin in 8th position. So is everybody back on the lead lap? No. Yes. Everybody is pretty much still on the lead lap, I believe. Now, of course, one thing that we're not going to have in today's race is a yellow flag, which, of course, in IndyCar racing does bunch up the pack, but, you know, we can't have everything, unfortunately. Going to go on board for a couple of laps with Elite Digits. Enjoy the sounds of the SuperFormula Hondas. Now, one thing that I'm really taken out of watching Elite Digits laps there is how much of the apron they are using on the final turn, turn 5, where I'm not too sure if other drivers are using as much apron. Let's see how Seth F1 tackles that final turn as Elite Digits drops into the pits. Wow. Ran it right to the very, very limit on fuel. So brilliant run from Elite Digits. Timed that to perfection, or managed that to perfection. And the thing that you really heard in Seth F1 didn't really run the apron, I don't feel, particularly there. No hassle in 4th position. We're going to see their position flirts with the apron, as does Rhinus Badgino. So as Seth F1, our race leader, has come to the pit road again. Really run their tank of fuel very hard. And is now, will they change onto a softer compound of tyres? Twanlu completely empty as they come down pit road to move on. Well, they are on the soft compound of tyres. Very, very fast. But they, you know, delaminate, break down, fall off a cliff very, very quickly. Ryan Espargaro up into third position. Oscar X0 back up into the top 4. Let's check in with Terminator. We're going to go on board with Terminator. Again, before I got completely distracted by about a million different other things, the thing that I took away, as well as how much apron he ran, elite digits, you could hear the tyres absolutely screaming throughout the lap, as well as that fabulous Honda engine. Terminator running with a Toyota engine. Fastest lap, a 23 second. I didn't catch the rest of that. 23.643. And again, just a little dab. There is a suggestion of apron for Terminator. So again, a very interesting race. And the beauty of such a compact 1.5 kilometer oval is that there is always something going on track. And what do we see here? Brett Rackett gets by Lango 666, puts a lap on him, and now looking to get by Oscar X0. So this really is tremendous, and gets by. So this is incredible from Brett Rackett. The speed that he is able to carry through the corners on this track, absolutely stunning. But still yet to have that fastest lap, but consistently fast. 23, what was that last one? 23.244. No hassle. Remains on the lead lap. Ryan Espargaro remains on the lead lap. Oscar X0 is a lap down, and Ryan Espargaro, Brett Rackett is coming for you. He's in sight. And of course, you know, these cars have pits. We're not having the pit windows like we see sometimes where everybody hits pit road at the same time. But still, this is impossibly fast from Brett Rackett. Side by side, going into the final turn. Nice and clean. Oh, Ryan Espargaro contacts the wall. We're going to check that one out again. Doesn't lose a position. So has Oscar X0 right on their tail now. And looks like Oscar X0 isn't able to get by at the dog leg. Turn number 3. Now we're going around turn 4. Ryan Espargaro drops into the pits. Let's have a look at that from the vantage point of Ryan Espargaro. Yeah, just really collected the wall. And do you know what that would have done? That would have caused damage, of course. So he would have been battling to bring home a damaged race car. We're going to watch that just... Ooh, no, we're not going to do that. Oh, there it is. There's the replay. So yeah, that would have certainly damaged his car as our race leader Brett Rackett into the pits. Fueling. Oh. And we assume tyres are also being changed. Well. Oscar X0 inherits the lead of the race. 5.4 second advantage over Seth F1. And wow, Brett Rackett returns to the racetrack in third position. We saw him taking, well, lapping cars like it was going out of fashion. Building up a huge gap over drivers. He's 10 seconds back of the lead. Oscar X0 has that lead and is battling currently to get by Twanlu. You see blue flags, but you're not going to get, I don't think you're going to get any sort of penalty your way. It's on the faster car to get by you safely. I mean, this is a tight, difficult circuit. Why do I say difficult? There's only 5 corners. You're going so fast. You are lapping this place extremely quickly. You need to be able to drive to the limit. Elite Digits into pit road as Tuanlu gains the position. We can see the blue flags, and he'll see that on his screen. And I don't think anybody's going to have too much of an issue if you just drive your race. If you start blocking, if you start acting like a fool, then there's going to be issues. Then there's going to be, you know, words exchanged and messages being sent to the officials. But I don't think we're going to see that there. We are a quarter of the way through as Oscar X0 crosses the line for lap number 50 of 200 here at the Amigos Racing Team at 200. Live commentary from myself. My name is Darren Paul. You can find me on Twitter at StairwellJam. I'm also on Twitter at AwaitsTouch. And every week of the women's British basketball season, I host a podcast called Kaz and Daz Show over on the Focus Hoops YouTube channel, talking all things women's basketball. So if that sounds up your street, go and check it out. Brett Rackett remains in second position, chasing down Seth F1. That gap has grown again, nearly 5 seconds. Tuanlu now pretty comfortable, lapping effectively on their own right now. They've got nearly 5 seconds on No Hassle. They're 15 seconds down on Brett Rackett. So what a tremendous breakaway it has been from Seth F1 and Brett Rackett at the 1/4 stage of this race. But what do we see with Ryan Espadino, the artist otherwise known as Cuzzy, who is all over the back of Oscar X0. We're going to go on board. Ryan Espadino was doing better, was higher up the order, then was, you know, lost control, was forced up. Regardless, hit the wall, looked pretty hard. Did they pick up damage? Well, they pitted immediately, and their racing line didn't look exactly like we'd expect from Ryan Espadino. So if you hit that wall, a lot of drivers kiss this wall on the final turn, or nearly inches away. If you hit that too hard, that's going to damage your car. You're going to have to take a trip down pit road that you didn't want to take. Seth F1 takes that trip right now, still on mediums, looking for a new fuel, a full tank of fuel. Already back out, exiting the pit lane. No, my mistake. That was Tuanlu who was exiting the pit road. And Espadino got right underneath the rear wing of Oscar X0, backed out of it. I mean, that could be a place for a last lap lunge. However, it's lap 56 of 200. We have a long, long way to go. Tuanlu getting those blue flags. But they just need to run their race right now. Don't worry about what's coming behind. They'll get by you. Tuanlu stays on the high lane. Effectively acted as a bit of a shield there for Oscar X0. Through no fault of their own. As Seth F1 just comes out of nowhere to take the position. And we're going to watch that back. Seth F1. Maybe Ryan is having to go a little bit slower because of Tuan Lu dropping down ahead of them. Maybe conserving fuel. Maybe the tyres fell off. We're not too sure. But Seth F1 had a lot of speed there and is looking very, very racy. Trying to get by Oscar X0. Looking up the inside. Not happening that time. And gets the move done into turn 1. Comes out of turn 2 in 3rd position. Only 11 seconds back of 2nd place. Art No Hassle. A lap down on our race leader. I think we're still seeing the blue flags there for Tuan Lu. We're going to check in with Terminator. The artist otherwise known as Lays. One second back of Ryan Espagino, aka Cuzzy. Jovis in 7th. Comfortably ahead of Elite Digits, 11 seconds. And again, roughly 1.7 seconds behind Terminator. Brett Rackett still leads, No Hassle 2nd, Seth F1 is 3rd. Brett Rackett and No Hassle definitely owe us another pit stop. I mean, everybody owes us several pit stops. But Seth F1 has pitted more recently than those two. Let's check in with Elite Digits. As Terminator pits from 6th. Again, really aggressive line from Elite Digits. Oh, that's super aggressive. Through pit road. Razor F inherits 8th position. There is a lot going on Urban Fire's livery. My goodness. Let us know in the chat who has livery of the day. Get your nominations in. And if it's a car on track, they are eligible. The leader pits Brett Rackett, as does Art No Hassle, Lango and DeJovis also in. Seth F1 in that glorious Kmart livery takes over sole ownership of this race. 3.4 seconds up on Oscar X0. In fact, 2.7 seconds up on Brett Rackett. So during that last stint, Brett Rackett able to close that gap to Seth F1 whilst being at the head of the race. And then once they go through pit road, boom, that's where we see the race. So 2.77 seconds. The gap between first and second. Oscar X0 just a second back of those two, Ryan and Spagino. And all of a sudden, the top 4 are within 5 seconds of one another. The race. And again, you may have been thinking, wow, it's a big old gap to the leaders right now. No, no, no. Don't you worry about that. We're going to have 200 laps of this. We're going to see it all shake out. Razor F dives down pit road. Ready, 3, 2, 1. Still scrapping, still battling. They had that first lap incident, which meant that they had to take a very early stop down pit road. Razor F remains in the pits. Low Hassel looking for the move on the inside. Gets it done on Ryan Espagino going into turn 1. That looks like a great place to overtake. And makes it stick going through the dogleg. Oh, in fact, no. Gets a lap back on Ryan Espagino. So maybe Ryan, who drops down pit road, was like, hey, have your lap back. But this looks like turn 1 looks like a good place to overtake because of that deceleration going into the final turn, turn 5. If you're able to carry a bit more speed, get up to speed a little bit quicker, you will be laughing as No Hassle gets the lap back owed from Oscar X0 and has overtaken Ryan Espagino for 4th position. Seth F1 pits once again from the race lead. Brett Rackett inherits the race lead. They took about 2 seconds out of the gap last time round. What can they do on this lap? We're on lap 75 of 200. It's the Amigos Racing Team at 200. So Seth F1 out of the pit lane, 35 seconds back of the race lead, held by Brett Rackett. That's simply because of that pit stop. So it's going to be interesting to see if at the end of Brett Rackett's pit stop, he will or will not retain the lead of the race. 35 seconds, but we assume fresh rubber and a full tank for Seth F1. Brett Rackett will be running lighter, but on older tyres. Struggling to get by De Jovis for a moment there. Still not by De Jovis. Now he is on that lower line. Ryan Espagino also looking low. Doesn't get the job done on De Jovis that time. And it's ended up a long way back. Let's just double check what happened there. That was too soon. I think it's just what we were talking about earlier. If you can maintain, carry a little bit more speed through that final corner, if you don't have to drop off so drastically, you're going to be in a really good spot to just blow by whoever you are scrapping with on track at that moment. Art Hassel in second position, 32 seconds back of the race leader. So about 3 seconds ahead of Seth F1. So it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out. Brett Rackett, still the race leader. We've seen fast and consistent driving from Brett Rackett consistently throughout this race, as we are used to with an E321 at the back of the field. Working hard, still putting in fast laps. 23.935. But unfortunately, 4 laps down on the race leader, and that is about to become 5 laps for Willie D 3-2-1. As Brett Rackett and Oscar X0, they nearly tangled, and that would have been really disastrous. And again, good respect being shown by all the drivers. We've not seen anything silly by any means. My goodness, so Brett Rackett, on a number of cars in his field, has been able to put 4 laps on them. That is tremendous driving. And maybe good fortune and maybe misfortune. We've not been able to see all of the incidents. We know that cars have had to come down pit road for damage, for fuel and for tyres, because unlike normal on a Tuesday night in the Amigos Racing Team Tuesday Sprints, which we are going to see these cars thrashing around circuits for Series 7 in just 7 days. We have damage, we have tyre wear, we have fuel consumption, and we've got over 100 laps as Brett Rackett comes down pit road. Your race leader, Seth F1, has got by no hassle on the road. That is an overtake. That is a pass for position. And I think Seth F1 will take the lead of the race. Oh, this is going to be very, very close. Where is Brett Rackett? Brett Rackett is still in the pits. Fuel is still going in. Seth F1 on the final turn. Brett Rackett still getting fuel. Seth F1 takes over the lead of the Amigos Racing Team Art 200. But it is that close. What is the gap on the racetrack? It is 3.7 seconds. So I think Seth has eked out about a second on Brett Rackett during that previous stint. But Brett Rackett, he's going to be able to see Seth heavier, but should be, assuming that tyres were changed, on a fresher set of tyres. Oscar X0 is in 3rd position, 15 seconds back of the lead of the race. Ryan Espadino is in 4th. Razor F is in 5th. No Hassle is in 6th position. Chuanlu is in 7th. Terminator in 8th. DeJovis in 9th. The beautiful blue and yellow Amigos livery. Lango 666 is in 10th. Elite Digits is 11th. Widdy 321 has moved up to 12th position, a minute back on our race leaders. And Urban Fire is in 13th position, 119 back of our race leaders. That accounts to 3 laps. Seth F1 gets by Willie D 321, puts another lap on Willie D. Seth F1 pits from pole again, from the lead of the race. Seth F1 that time on the soft tyres, so able to really get the speed up. Oh, Brett Rackett! Oh my goodness, Brett Rackett has been hit. Overtaking Willie D 321 and came into contact with the wall. Do they come down pit road? Have they sustained damage? We can check. They have damage to the front of their car. They stay out this lap, Brett Rackett. That is huge though, potentially. in the future of this race. On mediums, they have sustained damage. The race leader, Brett Rackett. Seth F1 is on the racing softs. And as you'd expect, no damage for Seth at this time. Brett Rackett has come down pit road early. And much earlier stop than anticipating. But that's what we said. If you hit the wall too hard, if you make a mistake, if somebody makes a mistake around you, if you just maybe get a little unlucky, you are going to sustain damage and you are going to have to take a stop down pit road. And look at that, Brett Rackett onto the super soft tyres, didn't take any fuel, has a fire within them right now, wants to get this time back that is owed to them. And we are going to see laps like we haven't seen before from Brett Rackett right now. We're going to stay on board just to see a couple of outlaps from Brett Rackett. My goodness. As Davide 21 wishes our drivers good luck. I think anybody in the way, anybody in between Brett Rackett and a victory right now is going to need that luck. This is going to be an absolute tear as we close in on halfway distance here at Amigos Racing Team at 200. Ryan Isbagino is being lined up by Brett Rackett as Oscar X0 comes across the line as the race leader for lap 200. Brett Rackett on those super softs drives by Ryan Isbagino like he isn't even there. And here's the thing, Ryan Isbagino, we know how fast he is, aka Cuzzy, aka Speed Merchant. Oscar X0 pits from the lead. Brett Rackett takes over the lead of this race, but the gap to Seth F1 in fourth is now just 10 seconds. Seth F1 in second as Oscar and Ryan drop down into pit road. So 10 seconds the gap, but Brett Rackett, smart, knew the car wasn't right, tried to live with it for a lap, couldn't, came in, was still fast on a lap by the way, but came in, didn't take any fuel, repaired damage, and went back out there on super soft tyres. Good stuff, good racing, good strategy. What we've come to expect here in the Amigos Racing Team on a Tuesday night. Ryan Isbagino still the fastest lap of the race, 22.606, and that was set very early on. One of the first laps of the race still stands. We check in with Terminator in fourth position. One lap back of the race leader. Last lap was a 23.787. So Terminator driving. Oof. And this is what our drivers will be seeing. So really hammering the front tyres. Obviously that left front is going to take the absolute brunt of it, given that we are turning, right, and we don't often turn right on ovals. It's usually turning left, but we're going the opposite configuration. I think it might be a little bit more interesting with that dog leg at the end of the lap as opposed to at the start of the lap anyway. Surely dropping down pit road now. That's right, Terminator comes into the pits as Brett Rackett remains in the lead. The gap to Seth F1 is 12 seconds. The strategy in terms of Brett Rackett wanting to get back in first and get some distance between him and Seth is working out. The gap is growing. But next time they need to come in for fuel is going to be where we really see the race. No hassle, collects the wall. Collides with Elite Digits, and I'm interested to see, is there damage? There is not. No hassle, I suggest. Got a little lucky there. Lead digits also with no damage. Brett Rackett remains at the head of this race. Seth F1, no hassle. Oscar X0 in 4th. Ryan Espadgino in 5th. Lango is in 6th. Somebody going very high there. Urban Fire staying well out the way. Elite Digits on a tear. Got by DeJovis as DeJovis pits. Twanlu up into 8th position. Razor in 9th. If you're enjoying this, and as Brett Rackett pits from the lead, out of fuel, and it's going to be interesting to see if they stay on that super soft compound. Seth F1 will take over the lead of the race, has done already in fact. What will the gap be between these two? Seth running those soft tyres really hard, but still with plenty of fuel, so able to get a good couple of laps in as Brett Rackett returns to the racetrack on medium tyres, fully fueled up, no hassle. Pits from 2nd, again on mediums, so that's going to give you longer stints, slower but longer stint times. And ultimately, if you're taking fewer trips to pit road, you're going to be quicker. Remember, Brett Rackett was only on those super softs because, again, getting around a back marker, collided with that wall, did damage to the nose and the front left. No hassle, rejoins the racetrack. Twanlu dove out of their way. I don't think they were too thrilled to see No Hassle just appear. Side by side, going through the dogleg. No Hassle drops in behind. Seth F1 pits from the lead. Brett Rackett already inherits the lead. Oh, Twandu collected the wall. Luckily, no damage for them. That's Brett Rackett on lap 115. Around turn 5. Twanlu pits from 6th position, completely out of fuel. Seth F1, 15 seconds back of Brett Rackett. So Brett's did a good job so far, building up that gap a little bit. And I think the two cars are a bit closer now in terms of strategy as Brett Rackett clouts the wall just a little bit. Yeah, they're not a million miles away on fuel. Seth F1 on the softer compound tyres, looking for that speed, looking for that pace. Urban Fire with the loudest livery of the day. I think that's fair to say. A reminder to you, if you want to be involved in the Amigos Racing Team, if you want to race, if you want to learn from these other drivers, if you just want a great community to talk about motorsport or whatever, in the description to this video, links to our Discord. That is how you join in the racing. That's how you join a league, join a standalone race event like we have here today for the Amigos Racing Team Art 200 special from BB Raceway II, Tokyo, Japan. Alternatively, our social media channels are also down there. If you want to get involved, give us a follow on those. You can also follow me personally on Twitter at Jam Stairwell, or look up Stairwell Jam. As Brett Rackett still with the lead of this race. Ryan Spacho still with the fastest lap of the race. Last time by a 23.178. Seth F1 is still in third. 14 seconds back of the leader. Gets by Urban Fire into turn 1. Exiting turn 2. All over the back of Oscar X0. Goes for the high line. Looks to have a lot of pace, a lot of speed. As Oscar dives out of it, goes down pit road. Seth takes over second position. As we look well into another pit window. No hassle. Moves back up to third position. Oh, this is a battle on the racetrack. Lango and the Jovis separated by 0.2 of a second. Turn 1, nothing between them. And you can see on the visual there that Lango's tyres are absolutely battered. And you can also see just on the tyres themselves the amount of wear that they have been subjected to so far in this stint. And the Jovis also not looking the freshest and very, very pushed for fuel. The Jovis stays out another lap. A little kiss on the wall, lots of apron. Gets it turned around though, and will keep the position ahead of Lango 666, but does owe us a pit stop very, very soon. These two in the battle for fourth. 51 seconds back of our race leader as the Jovis does drop down into pit road. Ran that fuel stint to the very edge. Check in with Terminator, who is trailing Ryan Badgino and Seth F1. Seth still in second position in this race. Terminator. 3 laps back on our race leaders. Last time a 23.355. So some seriously quick laps being put in by the Danish sensation as Brett Rackett, race leader, pits. Absolutely no fuel. Medium tyres. Seth F1 also pits. So first and second are both down pit road. And we thought they were closer on fuel. I think the tyres of Seth F1 may have given up. They are looking very, very battered, very beat up. As the fuel's going in for Brett Rackett. No hassle. Inherited very briefly second position. He will lose that momentarily. It's going to be a race down pit road. Brett Rackett will win that race. Brett Rackett is already away and out. So is in fact the leader of this race. And there is no question about it right now. Seth F1 on the soft compound tyres. Fully fueled up. Brett Rackett on the medium tyres. Also fully fueled up. What an enthralling. What an incredible turn of events on lap 134 of 200. So this gap is now real. 13.593. They've just both pitted on the same lap. And that is the gap between the two. Again, that could go a little bit out of whack if damage or if car just burns through their fuel a little bit quicker. Is Seth F1 with the softer compound tyres? Are they going to run their fuel mix a little bit higher? Is Brett Rackett on those mediums going to run their fuel mix a little bit leaner? Try and eke out a little bit longer stint. Keep something in reserve for the end of this stint when they see Seth F1 pit. Lots of questions. We're going to find out some answers in the next 20 or so laps. Ryan Espagino remains in 4th position. Oscar X0 comfortable right now in 3rd. No hassle. Drops down to 5th. We'll see how it all shakes out after the next couple pit stops. Terminator up to 6th position. And doesn't owe us a pit stop for quite some time. Does have DeJovis all over the back of them. Oh, Lango, in fact. And Elite Digits. Oh, ho, ho. We have a battle in the midfield as well as a very intriguing battle for the overall race lead. Let's just check that gap again. Oh, my goodness. As Willie D and Urban Fire connect ahead of our race leader. He's able just to split the difference between the two, but that must have been a little bit of a hairy moment for Brett Rackett. We're going to go on board again and see his vantage point. Willie D 321 and Urban Fire. Yes, there is that bit of contact. Urban Fire does the smart thing, does the right thing, stays on that low side. Look for a split second like they are about to come back up the racetrack. And wow, that would have been a disaster, I think, for his race, but also, and arguably more importantly, no disrespect, no offense, but for our race leader, Brett Rackett, still 13 seconds ahead of Seth F1. 23.059 for last time for Seth. Brett Rackett at 23.320. So both lapping extremely quickly around this racetrack. Seth F1, of course, had the pole. Set it with a 21.995. So if the circumstances are right, he has that kind of pace in him if he needs. Lap 142 of 200. It's the Amigos Racing Team at 200. So Elite Digits in 8th position. It's hot on the heels of Lango 666, who's also all over the back of De Joseph. Razor F is sort of sandwiched in the middle of this battle. So you can see a little bit of degradation, a little bit of wear on the tyres of Elite Digits. And you can hear them squealing away. Gets by Razor F. Oh, does not get by Razor F. And that's really hurt him, actually, for time. Yeah, absolutely brutal for time there. Lost a good 0.3 of a second to DeJovis as a result of that. And you know what, let's just take a... Can we take another look at that and see what happens? Oh, we cannot. I apologise. I went a bit too late to the replay. DeJovis trying to get by Lango 666. Had a look at the dogleg. That's what makes Broadbean such a distinctive racetrack. Oh my goodness! DeJovis collects the wall. Lucky for DeJovis, no damage that time. Just a little kiss. As Elite Digits drops down into pit road, out of fuel, and maybe looking for a new set of tyres. We are on lap 145 of 200. In fact, I dare say 147 of 200. As Brett Rackett is doing well to manage that lead ahead of Seth F1. Seth on the faster compound of tyres. But Brett Rackett has just clean air ahead right now. Whereas Seth F1 has Razor F and then Willie D 321 ahead of him. Oh my goodness! And was there contact? There's more contact with Razor F. Took to the apron. And another collision. Does Seth have damage? Does not. But let's just take another look at things. So Seth F1 just merrily coming up on a back marker. Oh, terrible, 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 terrible. And yeah, I think just to avoid the contact, unfortunately, none of our camera angles are quite right through the dogleg to properly show us what happened there. But Brett Rackett has been the big gainer on that one. That held Seth up about a second. As Oscar X0 drops down into the pit road. Ryan Espadino also down pit road. No hassle. As Seth F1 has visited the pits as well. Out of fuel. Those soft tyres. How's Brett Rackett doing for fuel? Not too bad. Should be able to get a few more laps. Let's check that out. So Brett Rackett is. Seth F1 is not. But will be when the pit stops shake out. And that's it. Seth F1 and Brett Rackett, though Seth currently isn't. But again, that's pit stops. In their case, in real terms, they're separated by about 14 seconds on the road. As we are into the final quarter of this race. As Brett Rackett comes down pit road from the race lead. Now, no hassle. But it's Seth F1 that we are keeping an eye on right now. Because I think no hassle owes us a pit stop pretty soon. And it's still the battle between Seth F1 and Brett Rackett. So the tyres have been changed. Seth F1 comes around the final corner. Over start finish. think Brett Rackett might have it. I think Brett Rackett might come back in the lead of this race. Well, in the virtual lead of this race. No, Seth F1 just... Oh, Brett Rackett is still our race leader. 4 seconds to the good over No Hassle. 14 seconds over Seth F1. So fantastic. Fantastic last stint from Brett. Was able to manage that gap. Again, on a slower compound of tyres than Seth. There's No Hassle giving us that pit stop they owed us. So again, no disrespect at all to No Hassle. They're involved. They're up there. They're battling for a podium position. But they're not, as it stands right now, looking at race overall victory. Let's just take a cheeky little look. So Seth is on tyres, about 75% fuel. Sorry, on tyres, on softs. Brett Rackett on about 80 odd % fuel on medium. So again, Brett's looking for that longer stint. "12 seconds the gap." Seth F1 on an absolute tear. We're going to go on board our second position man. The gap down now to 11.9 seconds. Seth lucky to avoid an incident on that last stint. Avoided contact with a back marker, and then ultimately did collide with the back marker. No damage, but did lose about a second to Brett Rackett. And who knows how big that is going to turn out to be. We're going to take a run through the order. Urban Fire 999 with the loudest livery in the world. Oh, Aston Villa. Weedy 321 is in 12th. Twanlu is in 11th. They've been up and down the field throughout the race. Elite Digits currently in 10th position, trying to get by No Hassle. Has a lot of speed, takes a very aggressive line. Trying desperately to get that lap back as they bump up to 9th as Razor F comes down pit road. Terminator is in 8th position as it stands. The Jovis is in 7th. Lango 666 is in 6th. No Hassle is in 5th position. Ryan Espagino in 4th. Then our top 3, Oscar X0 continues the great form that they showed in Season 6 of the Amigos Racing Team Tuesday Sprint. Seth F1 is in 2nd, 11.8 seconds back of Brett Rackett. And Brett Rackett remains your race leader. Lap 164 of 200 in the Amigos Racing Team Art 200. So Oscar, is 1 lap down. So the top 2 are the only cars still on the lead lap as it stands. We're on board with Razor F, who is battling with Elite Digits, but also has the race leader bearing down on them. So run your race, but by God, do not get in the way of Brett Rackett. Oh, where is... Oh no, there's Brett Rackett. as we're going to go on board with Elite Digits, who is currently battling with the Jovis. I thought Razor F was a bit closer than they are. They're 1.3 seconds back. In fact, they're trying to get a lap back from the Jovis by looks of things. Again, you see them taking that really aggressive line, using lots and lots of apron. Brett Rackett got by Razor F and is now looking to get by Elite Digits. So yeah, Elite Digits takes their lap back from the Jovis. So yeah, they are one lap down now, as they're looking to get by no hassle, as race leader Brett Rackett comes up the inside. The final turn. Elite Digits. Oh! Very nearly a bit of contact there, I think. Let's just check that again. Oh, absolutely none. My apologies. Commentator getting a bit overexcited. I don't think that's happened too many times today. Lap 172. Brett Rackett is our race leader. Seth F1 pits from second, completely out of fuel on those soft tyres. The gap before then was 11.996. We're going to check out the situation with Brett Rackett. Brett Rackett has got laps in them, and they are lapping quickly as well. 23.296 last time by. Last time for Seth, a 23.638. Do they remain on soft tyres? We can only assume that they do. We'll check in with those in a moment. Seth F1 drops down to 5th position, but the cars in between, and including our race leader Brett Rackett, they all owe us pit stops. Seth F1 fueled to the finish, perhaps, on the medium compound tyres. Fully fueled up. 50 seconds back of Brett Rackett, who, again, looked like, I don't think they did. They did not hit the wall. Now Brett Rackett is going to need to come down pit road. Now I think 25 laps can be done on one tank of fuel if you are really conservative. I feel like we saw that happen at the start of this race, so this could be it. Brett Rackett should be owing us a pit stop this time by. Does Brett Rackett stay on those medium compound tyres, or rather change onto a separate set of the medium compound tyres? We will see. Tyres are readied. We are going to stay for this pit stop, assuming the car ever gets there. Ryan Espadgino also pits, as does Oscar X0, second and third. Do we have a change of tyres? Yes, we do. And I'm willing to bet that is a medium for medium switch, as the fuel is going in. Seth F1 comes round the final corner, turn 5. Up to 3rd position. Brett Rackett has been released. Where is Seth F1 on the road? Round turn 4. Brett Rackett is on the racetrack. And the gap between Brett Rackett and Seth F1 is 18 seconds. So Brett Rackett somehow during that last stint was able to extend the lead over Seth F1. Again, no disrespect to No Hassle, but I'm not considering them because they owe us that pit stop. And already they've dropped down to 3rd position. The battle is between Brett Rackett and Seth F1. We have 22 laps remaining. Make that 21 laps remaining And what is the gap? Flag to flag, 18 seconds. And it remains 18.5 seconds at the flag. That is incredible. So Brett Rackett able to extend the lead during that last stint away from Seth F1. I'll be honest with you. Now, at the start of the race, I said Brett, and we've got a long way to go. I'm not calling it as I hammer this wooden table. But I was not expecting that gap to be so large at this time with 20 laps to go in this race. Oscar X0 looking to finish on the podium in third position. Will be interesting to see if that fuel tank will get them to the finish or whether they will need an additional splash of fuel. Ryan Badgino is hot on the heels. In fact, has gotten by Oscar X0. They're side by side. Coming around turn 4. Down to that heavy braking turn 5. And Ryan Badgino is in third position. And does not owe us a pit stop anytime soon. And all of the top 4 on mediums. And already Seth F1. Looks like they're burning through their fuel. No, sorry, they pitted a little bit earlier. Let us know in the chat. Do you think these drivers, any of these drivers, these top 3, top 4 drivers, are going to be able to see out the rest of this race on this tank of fuel? Will we see Seth dive into the pits with 10 or fewer laps to go? Splash of fuel and softs. In fact, Seth just done just that. Dove into the pit lane with 17 laps to go. Is this going to be a splash to get it up to full fuel and maybe soft or even super soft tyres? Or do they stay on mediums? This is a bit of a roll of the dice. Fresh set of rubber on. Fully fueled up on softs. That is Seth's hand played. They are going for the race victory. They're down in. We'll see where they shake out. They're down in 4th position right now. As Brett Rackett, race leader, also pits. Has a healthy advantage over Seth. As Ryan Badgino is in 2nd position, 39 seconds back of our race leader, Brett Rackett. Just got their lap back, lap 186. Ryan Badgino as Brett Rackett also on soft tyres. Also fueled what I think will be to the finish. And Brett Rackett has the lead of this race. 11 seconds up on Ryan Badgino. I don't think Ryan's fuel is going to be enough to get us to the end of this race. Depends how conservative he is with it. But I can see him owing us a pit stop. Seth, 21 seconds back of the race lead. Last lap, a 22.869 from Seth F1. Brett Rackett trying to get by, no hassle, wants absolutely no mistakes. Lapping what to him, of course, is a back marker. Had that issue earlier in the race. Had to take a pit stop to change the nose, get a bit of repairs. Didn't take fuel on that occasion, just slapped on some super soft tyres and absolutely went hell for leather. It was a really impressive bit of driving as he gets by, no hassle, right under the rear wing of Brett Rackett. not where Brett Rackett wants him to be right now. You can be assured. Oh my goodness. Elite Digits held his line. Brett Rackett made a split-second, last-second decision of where to go. 21 seconds from the vantage point of Brett Rackett. He's just got past Willie D321. He sees Seth F1 on the road. Now tell me if I'm wrong, but I think this is still virtual first and second on the road. Because does Ryan owe us a pit stop? Oh, very possibly. Is Ryan, is Badgino, are they going to be able to push their fuel window right to the very end of this race? Oh my goodness, there's a yellow flag ahead. I did not see who it was. As No Hassle dives into the pit lane. It may just have been No Hassle diving down pit road. Seth F1. Again, on a charge. Last lap, 23.179 on the soft tyres. Fueled definitely to the finish. We're inside of 10 laps. 193 of 200. Make that 194 for Seth F1. 195 for Brett Rackett, who is just about... Seth remains just on the lead lap. Oscar X0 is in third. Ryan Badgino is in second. And I'm still not convinced that they're able to make it on fuel. I think they can. I think they're going to do it. This is looking like the battle for the race lead is between Brett Rackett and Ryan Badgino, a.k.a. Cuzzy, a.k.a. Ribyak. And Oscar X0 3 seconds back with a 4-second gap over Seth F1. This is, you know, for Brett Rackett, he's got 3 laps remaining. Just keep it clean. Keep it on the dark, black, grey stuff. Lango, down pit road from 5th. Where is that going to see them? Ryan will do it on fuel. Oscar X0 will do it on fuel. This is looking like the podium places. Seth F1 for so long from pole position, so long at the head of this race. It's looking like missing out on the podium. As Brett Rackett, lap 199 of 200 through the first sector timing beam. Has barely put a wheel wrong in this race. Brett Rackett starts the final lap. The white flag is out. Ryan Badgino 15 seconds back, battling with No Hassle to get by. Doesn't want that in the closing stages of this race. Seth F1 2 seconds back of the final step on the podium. Brett Rackett is going to come around to win the Amigos Racing Team R200. A brilliant drive from Brett Rackett, but who will come in second? Ryan Badgino looks like he's got it tied up, sewn up. The artist otherwise known as Cuzzy to come across the line in second position. And yes, it is. And a third spot for Oscar X0. Seth F1 comes across the line in 4th. But the race is all about that man there, Brett Rackett. What an incredible performance. What an incredible victory. What incredible driving. Brett Rackett wins the Amigos Racing Team R200 from the BB Raceway. What an absolutely incredible, incredible race. Do you know what? I'm going to have to say it. Thanks for the race. What an unbelievable time we have had. I hope that you have also enjoyed yourself here with the Amigos Racing Team. We race, well, there's racing pretty much every night of the week, but in particular, we have brilliant races. The Tuesday sprints, there's a new series coming up next week. We kick off in these fantastic motor vehicles, these SuperFormula cars. That's the livery that's going to be driven by Terminator all season long. And you can join us every Tuesday night, the Amigos Racing Team Tuesday Sprints live on the Amigos Racing Team channel. Incredible race from Ryan Espagino, from Oscar X0, from Seth F1, but in particular, that man, Brett Rackett. What a race. What a win. What a night. Until next week, take care, and we'll see you soon.